Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I am going to be giving you my player ratings from our 1-0 win against FC Copenhagen yesterday night. I've already given you my match reaction for the game. So let's get on with it. So Sergio Romero, gonna give him a 6 out of 10. Obviously, no, Sergio Romero didn't have much to do in the game, really. I was actually no surprised that Solskjaer had selected Sergio Romero. I thought he'd have actually gone with David De Gea. But I'm glad that he went with Sergio Romero because obviously Sergio Romero does play in our cup games anyway. He actually played in all our FA Cup games this season apart from the FA Cup semi-final. I think Sergio Romero is a pretty good goalkeeper, but he's nowhere near reliable enough to become our number one. Like I've said to you, I think there's a possibility chance that Romero could leave the football club in this summer transfer window. And when we do recall Dean Henderson from his loan, if we do, then Sergio Romero will be our third choice goalkeeper, and obviously he won't want to be our third choice goalkeeper. Romero's got a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. This has been Sergio Romero's 5th year at the club. We got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. We are to sell him in this summer transfer window. We'll demand around £5 or £6 million for him. But Solskjaer was saying prior to the game in his press conference that he has got tough decisions to make on, De Gea, Dean Henderson and Sergio Romero. Because he says it'll be difficult for us to keep all three goalkeepers for next season. And it's also mentioned that, we could either sell David De Gea or Dean Henderson in this summer transfer window. Dean Henderson said he will leave Manchester United if he isn't assured to be our number one for next season. So he said either put me as number one or I am leaving. Solskjaer did recently talk about Dean Henderson, saying that he's not yet ready to become Man United's number one goalkeeper, but he said on the other side of things that he expects him to be our number one goalkeeper and England's number one goalkeeper in the future. Dean Henderson's current contract at Man United runs until 2022, and he did recently say that we'd offered him a new deal worth around £60,000 a week. But Solskjaer's got to put Dean Henderson as number one for next season because I think he's good enough now to be number one, and plus he's got that experience behind him because he's enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United and he's been Sheffield United's player of the season. De Gea has been our number one for several years, but I think now it's he's no longer good enough to be number one because, like I said, De Gea has been a liability in the last couple of years. So Romero's going to get a 6. Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 7. Thought he had a decent game, like I mentioned. Defensive contribution, very, very good. Some of his decision making, though, to be honest with you, was quite poor. I thought, again, didn't show much attacking intent. And Wan-Bissaka, and we need to start seeing more attacking intent from him. If he is to emulate to Trent Alexander-Arnold's level. I thought Wan-Bissaka anyway towards the end of the Premier League season, did look a bit fatigued and he did look a bit off the pace. Obviously, it was Bissaka's first season. I think he still enjoyed a very, very good season for Man United. Obviously, we got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. But I think he can be our right back for the next 9 or 10 years. But yeah, so we'll give him about a 7. Eric Bay, I'm going to give him a 7. I don't think Eric Bay had a bad game. Thought he looked quite composed at the back. At times got into some good positions. So he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Like I've said to you before, my only element of concern about Eric Bay is that he is injury prone. Like I said, for the vast majority of the Premier League season, didn't really have a perception on him because he was out with injury. He did sustain that concussion in our 3-1 loss to Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final in pre-season last summer. He sustained a bad knee injury and that kept him out until February. You know, there's some Man United fans saying that we need to sell Eric Bailly in this summer transfer window. But this has been his 4th season at the football club. We did get him under Jose Mourinho for £30 million back in 2016. And we did get him from Villarreal. Harry Maguire. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he was caught out in possession a few times, but I think prior to that looked very composed at the back. Showed some good attacking intent. I thought he made a couple of good interceptions, was it? So yeah, I've analysed Harry Maguire's season, and I did say, didn't I? You know, he's been up and down. You know, he's had some good games and he's also had some bad games. But there's some Manchester United fans that don't think Harry Maguire is good enough to captain the team. We'll give Harry Maguire the captaincy, reflecting on Ashley Young's departure back in January. But Harry Maguire is our second most expensive sign at the moment, just behind Pogba, and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world because we got him in a deal with £80 million from Leicester last summer. Brandon Williams, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Brandon Williams enjoyed a very, very good game. Like I said, I thought made some good overlapping runs, showed good attacking intent. Defensively, I thought he was quite good. I think he lacks that final pass a little bit. That's the only thing that really let Brandon Williams down. Solskjaer has got trustworthy in him, but I think for next season, you know, Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back. Unless, obviously, you know, Manchester United were to sign a left back in this transfer window. Because, obviously, the reason I think Luke Shaw will be our first choice left back for next season over Williams is because Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. And, you know, Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for quite a while. Luke Shaw, obviously, you know, isn't available, you know, for the rest of this season. That he isn't going to play any part in this Europa League campaign because, obviously, you know, he's out with that ankle injury. And people just believe that Brandon Williams is too right-footed in that. You know, so some people believe he can't become our first choice left back at, you know, this present time or for next season. But, obviously, you know, prior to the game, you know, Williams was talking, you know, saying that, you know, he wants to get given chances, and when he does, you know, he wants to keep improving, you know, he wants to keep fit and that. Obviously, it was near the midway point, or was it the midway point of the season, he broke into the senior squad because at the start of the season, Brandon Williams was in the reserves. But he's played a good, 30-odd games, is it, this season for Man United in all competitions. We had the good news regarding Williams recently. You know, he signed a 4-year contract with Man United to keep at the club till 2024, and the club do also have an option to extend it for a further year. And he got a massive increase in his wages because before he signed this new contract, he was only on like £4,000 a week. Brandon Williams did make his debut in our EFL Cup game against Rochdale, and he made his first start in the Premier League against Brighton. He hasn't only played at left back this season. I've seen him operate at left wing back. I think I've also seen him play at right wing, and that came against Liverpool. But Williams did say prior to the game that it doesn't matter what position he gets played in, you know, he wants to give it all his best. So yeah, we'll give him a 7 out of 10. Paul Pogba, he's going to get a 8 out of 10. I thought Paul Pogba enjoyed an exceptional game. Like I said, pulled the strings off very, very well in the midfield. Very, very creative. I thought won a lot of vital headers as well. Got to give him that. And he did create some good chances in the game. So he was actually, you know, unlucky, you know, not to like get his name on the score sheet or something like that. But yeah, very, very impressed I was with Paul Pogba. But like I said, didn't I, you know, towards the end of the Premier League season, you know, Paul Pogba, you know, did make an impact. Like I said, I didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba for the vast majority of this season because obviously he was out with that ankle injury, and Pogba sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. Obviously, it was recently the 4th year anniversary of Paul Pogba because he was celebrating his 4th year anniversary at the football club a couple of days ago. And Solskjaer, you know, recently did say that, you know, he said Pogba will stay at Man United and he expects him to sign a new contract with the football club. You know, we need to get him a new long-term contract anyway to end the uncertainty over his future. I think he'll probably sign a 4 or a 5 year deal. Don't forget Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist. He came out recently and said that Pogba's happy at the club. And he said that Pogba wants to stay at the club. And he said that Man United will enter negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola over getting him a new contract. You know, but it did say, obviously, you know, a few weeks before the season finished that, you know, Pogba was close to signing a 5 year deal with Man United. Obviously, you know, Pogba's just got under a year left on his current contract at the moment, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. This time last year, you know, Paul Pogba made an admission saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United and he was seeking for a new challenge. But I think the main explanations why Pogba now wants to stay is because obviously, you know, we've exceeded expectations so far this season under Solskjaer, and plus we got qualification for the Champions League. And plus, you know, I think his combination, he's liking the combination with Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. But as it stands at the moment, Paul Pogba is our most expensive signing because we did pay £89 million for him. But what a game he had yesterday. Fred, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I think kept the ball quite well. So his hold-up play was good. I thought he passed the ball well at times. So yeah, you know, Fred does deserve a 7 out of 10. And, you know, to be honest with you now, I think Fred has enjoyed a good season for Manchester United. Like I've said to you, know, has definitely confounded his critics wrong. Because under the Jose Mourinho, where Fred received a lot of criticism, but under the Jose Mourinho, where, you know, Fred never really got his opportunities, did he? Fred's been at the club now is a couple of years. Obviously, you know, we got him from Shakhtar Donetsk back in the summer of 2018. We got him in Mourinho's final transfer window, and I think we got him in a deal worth like £52 million, Fred. Obviously, towards the end of the Premier League season, you know, Fred wasn't really getting starts because obviously, you know, Matic was getting there ahead of Fred and also to Scott McTominay. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Because like I said on match reaction, I don't think he had the best of games, Bruno Fernandes. You know, obviously I know he scored the penalty in extra time. And obviously, you know, he did hit, was it the woodwork in the game? But I think prior to that, you know, he wasn't really in the game, was Bruno Fernandes, to be honest with you. Bruno Fernandes definitely made a difference in the Man United team. Obviously, you know, he must have scored like, is it 11 goals now for Man United in all competitions, something like that since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon. You know, he's won Player of the Month 3 times. Bruno Fernandes also did well on his debut against Wolves in the Premier League when it was 0-0. I think he actually, you know, had the most touches. But there again, there's some games, you know, where he hasn't actually played to his best. There was some games, league games towards the end of the season where, you know, he lacked that composure, you know, which is definitely unusual of him. But Bruno Fernandes is definitely the foreseeable future for Man United. When we signed him in January from Lisbon, you know, he signed a 5.5 year deal with Manchester United. But he certainly, you know, weren't great. I've got to say that. So yeah, so he's going to get a 6 out of 10. Mason Greenwood. Now, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. You know, I thought Mason Greenwood enjoyed a very good game. He was unlucky as well, you know, not to get his name on the score sheet. He had a few chances. Don't forget, Greenwood had a goal disallowed by VAR. He took the goal well as well. I think it actually come off the post. I think Mason Greenwood also hit the post, was it, in the game? So he could have obviously got his name on the score sheet. But I've said to Mason Greenwood has enjoyed a very, very good season for Man United. It was his first full season in the senior squad. I think actually Greenwood did make his full debut for the club in our 2-0 loss to Cardiff. At the end of the 2018-2019 season. But he's definitely the foreseeable future for Manchester United, is Greenwood. He really, really is. And he does look very, very effective on that right-hand side. So he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Marcus Rashford, and then we'll go to Anthony Martial. Marcus Rashford, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. I thought Rashford enjoyed a poor game, to be honest with you. I thought in the first half he was very poor, and I thought in the second half he slightly improved, but he wasn't performing to the standards, was he, as we expected from him. Some people don't think that Rashford's fully fit. I've analysed his season in the Premier League. I thought the start of the season didn't make the best of impacts. Then obviously Rashford got that back injury, and obviously towards the end of the season, didn't make the best of impacts. Throughout the course of this season, Marcus Rashford has been playing on that left-hand side, hasn't he? And a lot of United fans believe he's actually more effective out wide than he is, when he plays centrally. I still think Rashford is the foreseeable future for Man United, don't get me wrong, and but there's still aspects of his game that I've definitely got to improve. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7, and he has been in our senior squad since 2016. So yeah, I had a poor game, I thought. And I thought he was quite wasteful, in front of goal when he got his opportunities. Very poor. Anthony Martial, he is going to get a 9 out of 10. Anthony Martial, I thought, was superb. He created some good chances in the game. Actually, should have got his name on the score sheet, should Anthony Martial. He must have had 3 good chances. I recall him having in the game. And, Johnson made some very, very good saves for Copenhagen. He really, really did. But I thought Martial always looks dangerous on the ball. Don't forget, he did initially win a penalty in the first half of the game because the referee had given the penalty, but obviously, then VAR intervened and then obviously, ruled it out. Martial, obviously, was the one that got us the penalty in extra time, because obviously, he wasn't brought down. Martial, has enjoyed a very, very good season for Man United, and Solskjaer's recently praised Anthony Martial, for the extra work he's been doing, because him and Paul Pogba have recently been doing extra work. Paul Pogba had to do, especially, to make up for the time that he had lost, due to injury. But I've said to Martial's enjoyed 2 good seasons out of the 5 years he's been at Man United. He's done well this season under Solskjaer, and he did well in his debut season under Louis van Gaal era. We got Martial for around £36 million from Monaco back in 2015. But throughout the course of this season, Martial's been playing in that number 9 role, which is central, and he does look very, very effective in that central position. He really, really does. He really, really does in that. So, yeah. So, Martial is going to get a 9 out of 10. Like I said, though, Greenwood did also have a goal ruled out, like I said to you. And I think he also hit the post in the game. So, Greenwood, could have got his name on the score sheet. We brought some substitutions on in the game. Juan Mata, he came on. He's definitely, going to get a 7 out of 10. Juan Mata, made a difference when he came onto the pitch. And like I said to you before, I know Juan Mata doesn't get a lot of starts now, or a lot of chances for Man United, but when he does make an impact. And this is why I'm glad that we're keeping him at the football club. I don't think he'll leave in this summer transfer window. I really, really don't. Juan Mata's been a long servant at Manchester United. This has been his 6th year at the football club. Obviously, we got him from Chelsea back in 2014 for just under £40 million. But I think he's had a very, very good career at Man United. But I thought he was also good when he was at Chelsea before he came to us. He was supposed to be good at Valencia. He enjoyed 4 years with them. He actually began his career with Real Madrid, but Juan Mata's now in his 30s. Matic, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because I thought he made a fantastic impact when he came on. Matic, I think Matic has had quite a good season for Man United. Obviously, towards the end of the Premier League season, he was obviously getting starts and that, because for the vast majority of this season, Fred and McTominay were getting there ahead of Matic, weren't they? Don't forget. They were getting there, ahead of Matic. But yeah, he did well when he came on. Lingard, I'm going to give him a 6. I don't think, he was too bad, when he came on. Obviously, Lingard had failed to score for the third game in a row, because obviously prior to this game against Copenhagen, Lingard had scored in his last 2 appearances. Obviously, scored against Lask, and he scored in the 2-0 win against Leicester on the final day of the Premier League season. And when he scored against Leicester, that was actually his first goal for Man United since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. Solskjaer is an admirer of Jesse Lingard because he coached him as a youth player. But I still expect him to leave Man United in this summer transfer window, because he did recently say that we'd put Jesse Lingard up for sale. Lingard's got, a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. If we was to get rid of Lingard in this summer transfer window, I think we'd probably get around 20 million or just over 20 million pounds for him. Also, too, Scott McTominay came on in the game. 6 out of 10. I don't think he did bad, when he came on, Scott McTominay. I think, to be honest with you, he's enjoyed a pretty good season for Manchester United as, McTominay. I'll give him that. Victor Lindelof can't really give him a rating, to be honest with you. But, he also came on in the game. So that is your player ratings from our 1-0 win against FC Copenhagen yesterday night. Well, like I said, Solskjaer didn't go with his strongest team. He went with a pretty strong team, but it wasn't his strongest team. And obviously, for a long time, we were struggling to break FC Copenhagen down. Like I said to you, I read the stats of the game. We had 26 shots in total, created 18 chances and had 14 shots on target. And FC Copenhagen didn't register 1 shot on target, but I do believe that they did have some chances in the game. And it just shows you, doesn't it, when we don't go with our strongest team, we seem to struggle. It happened yesterday. It wasn't a bad performance, just couldn't break them down. I don't think we was too good in the first half there on the other side of things. In the game against Lask in the last round, in the second leg, didn't go with strongest team and really, really struggled. Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final, struggled against them, lost to them, didn't go with our strongest team. Norwich in the FA Cup quarter-final, got past them after extra time, but still struggled against them. So there you go. Solskjaer yesterday had made around 6 changes from our win against Lask recently. Obviously, Rashford came into the team. Bruno Fernandes came into the team. Mason Greenwood came into the team. And Wan-Bissaka came into the team. Fred as well. Obviously, he came into the team. And so too did, Pogba. So, yeah, he made around 6 changes. But it was actually, the youngest team we had gone with in the Europa League for some years. I think it was the youngest team went with since, 2016? Because don't forget, 2 teenagers started for us, and that was Mason Greenwood and, of course, Brandon Williams. But, yeah, it is good that we are into the semi-finals of the Europa League. We are now 2 games away from winning the trophy under Solskjaer. And obviously, we know who we've got in the semi-finals. We've got the winners of Wolves or Sevilla. A lot of Manchester United fans probably expect us to be playing Sevilla in the semi-finals of the Europa League. But now it's 3 semi-finals we've reached this season. We did progress to the EFL Cup semi-final, and we also progressed to the FA Cup semi-final. Now we have progressed to the Europa League semi-final, and it is also to the second time we have progressed to a European semi-final since Alex Ferguson's retirement. So that's also, very, very good. But I did expect us, to be FC Copenhagen. I really, really did. Obviously, we had 3 injuries, and that was obviously, Luke Shaw, Alex Tuanzebe, and Phil Jones. They didn't obviously, travel to Germany. We know obviously Luke Shaw and Tuanzebe are going to be back for the new season. Probably so too is Phil Jones and that. Diego Dalot. Don't know what's going on with him at Manchester United. I think he's going to be one of the players that we're going to sell in this summer transfer window, because quite clearly not good enough to represent the club. Obviously doesn't even get in the team enough, Delors. You know, didn't play any part yesterday against Copenhagen. Didn't obviously play any part against Lask recently either. He recently did say Everton were interested in Diego Delors. You know, we did get Diego Delors in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid around £19 million in from Porto. He's got a contract with us until 2023. But Delors had back-to-back injuries earlier on in the Premier League season. But he is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka, is Diego Delors. But, you know, Solskjaer knows the importance of us winning the Europa League because he did say winning the Europa League as Man United manager, you know, would be one of his greatest achievements and, you know, he would surpass 1999. You know, but we must win this competition, and we are obviously, you know, the favourites to win the competition. You know, we did win the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. We beat Ajax in the final by 2-0. You know, but I really want to win a trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because so far we have exceeded expectations this season under Solskjaer. You know, we got qualification for the Champions League. We also finished third. Like I said, we progressed to 3 semi-finals. And yeah, so Solskjaer's done very well in his first full season at the football club. Obviously, you know, next season is the big test for Solskjaer because next season, you know, you'll have bigger expectations to exceed, and next season is his second full season at the football club. But, you know, earlier on in this season, you know, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season, and reflecting on that, you know, Solskjaer was very close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. And at that point, I didn't think, you know, his managerial tenure, you know, was going to work out. But next season, you know, I expect Manchester United to challenge for the title because obviously, you know, want to be up there competing with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool and that. But for us to do that, obviously, you know, we have got to spend money. You know, we really have. Like I said, our transfer budget's been revealed. We have got around £140 million to spend in this summer transfer window. You know, let's put into the equation as well, you know, we are going to sell players. So, obviously, you know, we're going to generate money that way. So, our transfer budget will increase. You know, Solskjaer's identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. But Solskjaer's already outlined his transfer plans. He's obviously, you know, instructed our board to go out there and get his preferred targets. And Solskjaer has said he wants to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window, maybe even more than 3 signings, because obviously, you know, he does want to overhaul the Manchester United squad. You know, this is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager, you know. But, you know, Solskjaer knows that in this summer transfer window, he's got the backing of the board, he's got the backing of Ed Woodward, and he's also got the backing of the Glazers, you know. So far, Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings at the football club and spent just over £200 million. And, you know, I think we've done good recruitment under Solskjaer so far. We really have. And I think definitely, you know, our recruitment has improved under him because we have been criticised for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. You know, I think there's other improvements as well. Solskjaer's promoted the youth very well throughout the course of the season. Our record against the top 6 sides throughout the course of the season, very good. He's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. You know, we've seen a lot of players leave since Solskjaer came into the club. There's still, don't get me wrong, there's still improvements needed at Manchester United and that, and there's still aspects of our game that I've got to improve. You know, maybe there's still certain players that have improved, but I think a lot of players have improved anyway under the Solskjaer era. I still think Solskjaer's decision making's got to improve as well. There's some games this season where Solskjaer's been very tactically naive, but on the other side, there's been some games where he showed a lot of tactical flexibility. But Solskjaer's learned a lot at Manchester United. You know, I'd say, as you know, he's obviously now probably knows what his best 11 is, knows what his best formation is. You know, throughout the course of the season, you know, he's gone with that 4-2-3-1 a lot. A few times gone with 3 at the back. I think a few times gone with a 4-3-3. Don't forget in the game against Lask recently, he went with the 4-1-4-1 formation, and it's very rare that, you know, we do go with that formation. He's got that managerial experience behind him now, you know, Solskjaer, because Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. But yeah. But there's big decisions to be made in this summer transfer window, you know, of what players we're going to recommend in, and obviously, you know, what players we are going to get rid of and that. You know, we're going to get rid of at least around 6 or 7 players in this summer transfer window. I want Lingard to go, I want Pereira to go, I want Rojo to go, I want Jones to go, I want Delo to go. You know, they're the players I want to leave Manchester United and that. I think we're going to loan some players out as well, so they can get regular first team football. James could possibly be loaned out because James isn't even getting in the team a lot now, is he? You know, he wasn't getting starts towards the end of the Premier League season. James Garner, he's another one we could loan out. To Heath Chong, I think, you know, he's another one we could loan out. Dylan Levitt, you know, could we loan him out? You know, so we're going to loan some players out. Teden Mengi, you know, he's another young one we've got. He made his debut against Lask recently. But I said the Europa League is a chance for us to give more of the youngsters their opportunities, and we've got a lot of young players coming through, haven't we? You know, like I said, Ethan Laird, you know, he recently got promoted into the senior squad. He didn't play any part yesterday against FC Copenhagen. There was talk saying Laird could have played against Lask recently, but he didn't. You know, so yeah, we have got a lot of young players coming through. But Solskjaer's been at the club now over a year and a half. And like I said, even if we hadn't have exceeded expectations this season, I would have still given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer another season at the club because it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while. But Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. Obviously, you know, we've sat 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. You know, and I'm hopeful, you know, we can be successful under Solskjaer. There's still some Man United fans that don't think he's good enough and they don't think he is the foreseeable future for the football club, but, you know, time will tell. We've got decisions to make on contracts next season. Still, we've got around 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next season, so we've got to make a decision on them. We have extended a lot of players' contracts, to be fair, though, since Solskjaer got recommended into the football club. As well, you know the news on Sancho, just giving you it on my match reaction. You know the news regarding Chris Smalling as well. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.